Hello, hello. Thank you for your patience as I've gotten caught up. I'm still working on your journals and some of the discussion posts, but everything else that was turned in for last week's deadline has been returned to you. So I hope you all had a good weekend and are getting acclimated to everything pretty well. It seems that way. So I want to talk to you about what you'll be doing this week. So right now we're working on this first essay assignment, the ad evaluation. And what you're working on this week is stage 1, which is a description and an analysis of the ad. And you'll be doing reading about that this week, but I wanted to talk to you about it a little bit more in detail. So first of all, when you're describing the ad, it's exactly what it sounds like. I want you to describe that advertisement. What do you see when you look at that ad? And think about describing this for somebody who's not sitting there looking at it, okay? When you describe something, you do need to organize that description, whether you want to go top to bottom, left to right, most prominent to least prominent. Make sure you pick a method of organization that makes sense for the ad that you're describing and that you're consistent with it. You don't want to kind of jump all over the place, starting at the top and then talking about something at the bottom and then moving over here and then moving over there. That gets really confusing for your reader, and it gets confusing as you try to write that description as well. Make sure that you're really precise in this description. Don't just tell us there's a person standing there. What does that person look like? Don't just say, that it's a woman. What does that woman look like? Don't just say it's a child. Tell us what the child looks like. One of the common pitfalls with this assignment that I see is students will get carried away talking about the product. And you certainly want to tell us what product or service is being advertised. But remember, you are describing, analyzing, and evaluating the ad, not the product, okay? So make sure you stay focused on that advertisement. Do you want to talk about how they portray the product in the ad? Absolutely. Do you want to, talk about how prominent the product appears in the ad? Sure, but remember not to get so carried away that you just talk about the product. The focus here should be on the advertisement. So the next thing to do then is to analyze this ad. And I've given you some questions to help you through this process. In analysis, we're looking at how and why. Okay, you want to figure out who the audience is. And again, be specific. If you look at a makeup ad and go, oh, the audience is women, well, let's dig a little bit more deeply than that. What is it, who specifically within that group is being targeted? You may say the ad is targeted to parents or is targeted to old people. Who within that demographic is really being targeted? Marketers spend a lot of time and money and energy trying to target particular groups to buy their products. So look at that ad and stay focused on the ad. Again, don't just think about the product and who the product might be geared for. We're looking at the ad, and the ad's audience is probably going to be a subset of that consumer group. Okay, so look at how they use different strategies in the ad. Is there a kind of persuasion used? Are they using particular colors? Are they using some kind of an appeal? Are they being funny? Is the marketer really trying to drive home the point that this product is cheaper than others? Whatever it is, there are a whole lot of different appeals that are used in these advertisements. So that's what you're being asked to do in this first piece. And yes, it is just a description and an analysis. I'm not asking for an introduction. I'm not asking for a thesis statement. I know this may feel a little weird, but what I want you to do is jump into the part of the essay where you have content to work with already. I find a lot of times that students get sort of hung up on introductions. It's really hard to get started. And actually, it's not just students. It's most of us, right? It's really hard to get started on a piece of writing. And I think that, well, actually, I want to say I think that. I know, I'm confident that if you start with that description paragraph and that analysis paragraph, it's going to be easier to write your introduction later. And I'm going to encourage you to use this strategy with all of the essays for the course. Work on the body paragraphs and then figure out your introduction. Then figure out your thesis statement, because you kind of need to know what it is you're saying before you introduce it. I tell students a lot of times, you don't go around introducing people you don't know to each other, right? You have to know the people. You have to know something about them before you can introduce them to each other. And it's the same thing with your writing. You can't really introduce that to your reader when you haven't quite figured out what it is you're writing yet. Now, that's not to say that some of you can't sit down and write a beautiful introduction and go smoothly into your essay. And that's fine, okay? This first essay might be a little weird for you since I'm asking you to kind of write from the inside out, but it's okay. Give it a try. For later essays, if you want to start at the beginning and end at the end, that's fine. I do very much want you to do what works for you, okay? So that's what I'm asking for this week. I'm glancing over here to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I have everything up on my screen. So yeah, I've really enjoyed reading your discussion posts. I'm enjoying the journals. You all have a lot to say, and I'm enjoying reading it. If you have questions, if you need help, please get in touch. And I hope that this week is going well for you. I will be jumping in and returning those stage 1 assignments as they come in as quickly as I can. I'm getting a few things tied up from last week, but then you'll start to get feedback from me on those. I hope you're having a great week. And if you need help, you know where I am. Take care.